I'm Cedra Mayfield, and this is LegalSpeak, where we break down what's happening in the legal industry. We are recording live at the Women Influence and Power in Law Conference taking place in D.C., and joining us now is Katrice Miller, Labor Relations Counsel at Starbucks Corporation and founder of Corporate Consulting Group, LLC. Katrice, thanks for joining us.
Thank you so much for having me. I am so excited to be here.
Welcome to WIPL as well, and as I understand, this is not your first time here?
No, this is my third time at the conference, so I am very excited to be here yet again at this amazing event.
So tell me, what keeps you coming back? When people say this is not the first time, I'm like, all right, you like something. What brought you back?
Absolutely. First of all, I love the networking. I love having an opportunity to actually engage in in-person networking. So much is online now. So I love the opportunity to meet and greet so many amazing women. Also see some familiar faces once again. So it's just like coming back to family.
And what's been your favorite part so far at this year's conference? I know we're just in day one, but what has been something that maybe stood out to you so far?
I love the topics. They have done a really great job of mixing the legal topics along with the personal development topics. So I love the idea that they've expanded the topics more. So that's really exciting for me.
Now, you specialize in labor and employment law, but you've got an extensive professional background that spans more than 25 years of experience in government, corporate America, you name it. So for our listeners who might not be familiar with your work, go ahead and bring us up to speed on some of your career accomplishments and who you are and what you do now.
Sure. So now I'm currently with Starbucks working in labor relations. However, as you mentioned, my career has spanned over 25 years, always focusing on labor relations. I started off working in law firms. Then I moved to the federal government for approximately 10 years and then into corporate. And I'm also an adjunct law professor as well.
Okay, I didn't remember that part. Where are we teaching?
Loyola University, Chicago.
All right now, Midwest.
Yes.
Okay, now you're not just attending this year's WIPL conference. Let's make that very clear for our listeners. You are also sharing insights. You shared insights on a conference day one panel entitled Defining Your Own Success and Creating a Career Journey That Works for You. What insights did you share?
So in this panel, we talked about helping individuals define their career and finding their own path. So often in the legal arena, we think there's only a one-track, one-size-fits-all path, but there are so many different things you can do with the legal career and with the law degree. So we talked about all the different options there.
And so kind of pull back the curtain for us, because you've dibbled and dabbled a little bit.
Absolutely. So we talked also about learning how to pivot. And so many times we have to pivot based upon our own desire to do so, or sometimes we're forced to do so based upon markets, job layoffs, or also downsizing. So we talked about learning how to pivot when we're doing so ourselves, but also when the industry mandates that we need to do so.
And for those who are kind of put in a position that they need to pivot, what advice or suggestions do you have? Because I can imagine that could probably seem a little overwhelming when your back's against the wall.
Yeah, absolutely. So I encourage professionals to always make sure they are focusing on their personal brand, making sure that they're focusing on it all the time, not just when they feel that it's necessary. And part of that is always doing a skill evaluation, making sure that you have a good understanding of what your skill sets are, also what value you bring to organizations, and also the skills you need to get the direction where you want to go. So I always encourage them to evaluate their skills and manage that as well.
And every time I hear personal brand, I feel like it's a buzzword, because I've heard this at least 3 other times today. So now I'm going to put you a little bit on the spot.
Okay.
What's your personal brand?
So to me, personal branding is defined with who you are as an individual. So many times we define who we are by saying, I'm Katrice, I work at Starbucks. That's great. That's very true. But does that really speak to me as the professional? So to me, your personal brand is who you are at your core as a professional, and that carries you throughout any job that you have. So it's who you define yourself as a professional individual within this corporate space.
And so literally, what's your personal brand?
So my personal brand is that I am a career coach. I'm a career developer. I help individuals enhance their networks and help them build powerful opportunities to help them expand their networks and their job markets.
And you nail it for certain. So, all right. So this sounds like a no-brainer too, but what role do mentorship and sponsorship play in being able to successfully define and then create your own career journey?
Great question. I think so many times people interchange the titles of mentorship and sponsorship. They definitely are two separate things, but they're very, very valuable to your career process. Mentorship those are the people you're going to seek out to give you guidance, to help you navigate the space of learning where you want to go with your career. Sponsorship, on the other hand, is going to be instances where you have individuals who will speak on your behalf in rooms where you may not even be in. So it's important to make sure that, number one, we understand the difference between those, and that we also identify individuals who we can map out as people who will fill both those roles in our career.
And how do you find those folks?
Well, it comes from actually outreach and networking and being proactive. And so many people are afraid of networking. I think they're afraid because they don't do it consistently. Anything we do consistently removes the fear factor. So if you do it consistently, it will not be as fearful, it will be organic, and it will be very easy to do. So I think that's how you do it, by maintaining that consistency.
I feel like that was a personal call to action.
Yes, absolutely.
All right. Now, look, if you had to pinpoint a few strategies you would suggest for our listeners to consider, particularly for those who might not have been able to sit in on the panel, what would be some takeaways you would want for them? Like, hey, you missed out on the panel discussion today, but these are the things that you would have learned, and I would want you to take away from this.
Sure. So first, I would advise listeners to focus on their online presence. And by that, I mean starting first of all with LinkedIn. LinkedIn is an amazing opportunity for you to showcase your talents, as well as advertise who you are and what skills you bring to different organizations, and what you can bring to the industry. So number one, make sure your LinkedIn profile is optimized. I feel like optimized is one of those buzzwords as well. What does that really mean? It means that it is working for you and it is speaking for you, almost like a billboard. One of the biggest mistakes I see individuals make is that they make their branding about the company they work for. Now, I'm all about working hard for the job that you have and doing an excellent job in that position, but this is your own personal space, so you want to make sure that you are advocating for yourself and showcasing your talents and all the things that you bring to the industry. So starting off with your online presence, and then next I would encourage individuals to actually get out, come to these conferences. You know, I feel like so many times we hide behind the computer. We have people who are introverts, they don't want to attend public events, but you have to get out and meet and greet and see people.
I love that. Any tricks for the introverts? Like, any just suggestions? Like, I know, like, when they're performers, they say imagine everybody in the audience is naked, right? We can't do that here, obviously. But is there any trick for the introverts who might come to an event like this and then feel overwhelmed and not know where to start with networking, or who to speak to first, or what to even say?
I think it starts with setting small goals. Anytime we set a goal and we accomplish that goal, it brings about a sense of pride and the ability to do more. So start off by saying, I'm going to enter the conference. I'm going to at least walk up to one person, introduce myself, and have a conversation. Once you do that, you're going to expand it. You're going to do that with more people. You're going to make sure you get their contact information. You're going to follow them on LinkedIn. As you slowly do this, taking baby steps, you will, before you know it, be a conference pro and a social butterfly at all the conferences.
And I feel like we really just got a glimpse of some of that corporate consulting group right now. I appreciate that. Katrice, any final thoughts you want to leave our listeners with?
Sure. So my final thought would be, above all else, make sure you are focusing on enhancing your network and enhancing your professional brand, making sure that you are getting out there. Just take a chance. You know, as we said, sometimes it can be difficult. It can be nerve-wracking, but this is your opportunity to grow your career, and it's all in your hands.
Love it. Katrice, thank you for taking time to chat with us here on LegalSpeak.
Thank you for having me. I really appreciate it.
And the name of the session that Katrice helped panel is Defining Your Own Success and Creating a Career Journey That Works for You. And if you weren't able to attend Women Influence and Power in Law and see it live, you can find the session as a CLE program. Just go to law.com/CLE Center. Signing out from WIPL, taking place in D.C., I'm Cedra Mayfield. This is LegalSpeak. I love that. I feel like I'm getting all the coaching today.